Sport website about Harry Kane becoming Tottenham Hotspur's all-time top goalscorer, beating Jimmy Greaves' record after Kane gave Spurs a 1-0 lead against Manchester City in their Premier League game. They're now into the second half, Rita.
Thank you, Carthy. And that's it from us. Now on BBC One, the news where you are. Bye-bye.
Good afternoon, Benanda. With around a quarter of Welsh ambulance workers preparing to go on strike over the next 2 days, talks have been held between the Unite union and the Welsh Government. Unite's boss says an improved pay offer from the government is still not enough. Here's our political correspondent, James Williams.
Nurses, midwives, physiotherapists and many other NHS staff have called off their planned strikes over the coming days, following a fresh pay offer from the Welsh Government. But around a quarter of Wales's ambulance staff are still planning to walk out tomorrow and Tuesday, as their union, Unite, continues its discussions with the government.
Our members just won't accept that offer, and therefore it would be disingenuous for us to say, OK, we're going to take something back, knowing it's going to get rejected, and then people have to go through this stop-start constantly. What I hope is going to happen is that we can come to a resolution. We are nearly there, I feel. You know, we are in a different place in Wales than we are in England. We are nearly there, but we do need to get a little bit of a better offer on the table.
So what's included in the government's new pay offer? Well, it includes an extra 1.5% increase in salaries. That's on top of the 4 to 5.5% that was already put on the table. There's a separate 1.5% one-off payment, and the package also includes other non-pay commitments around staff well-being. It comes despite the Welsh Government repeatedly saying for many months that there was no extra cash to make a better offer on salaries. Do you regret not doing this earlier and avoiding strike action in the first place?
It would have been good if we could have avoided any strike action here in Wales. We want to give NHS workers the best possible settlement, but we also want to ensure that people don't have disruption to their service from the NHS
but they've had
as
that,
well.
Haven't they?
And they have, and I'm really pleased now that we're in a position where the strikes, for the most part now, are off, for the immediate future at least.
The Senedd's main opposition party thinks the government should have acted sooner.
Well, in the first place, I'm pleased to see there's not going to be strikes, because the disruption that causes, both for the staff and for the patients, is immeasurable, really, in a health service that's got nearly 1 in 4 of the entire population on a waiting list. But when you actually look at what the Welsh Government have done, they've suddenly come up with another 1.5% in real terms money to put on the table. That has to be asked of them. Where did you come up with that money? And ultimately, why didn't you do it sooner?
Whereas Plaid Cymru thinks the offer doesn't go far enough.
I don't think that, just 1.5% above what the government was already offering really goes to the core of what's at the heart of this dispute, is an NHS workforce that feels undervalued, and as a result of that, are leaving the NHS.
It's back to the picket line for some ambulance workers tomorrow, but talks with the health unions will continue this coming week, as the government adds the finishing touches to a package they hope will be enough to put an end to NHS strikes.
James Williams reporting there. Welsh universities are facing an unsustainable financial situation that could impact on students. That's according to the Vice-Chancellor of Cardiff University. Professor Colin Reardon says fixed tuition fees, less public money and high inflation are all causing challenges. It comes as universities in Wales will receive nearly £5 million less in public funding from the Welsh Government in the next financial year.
We're really in a position where the amount of money we have to teach each student is declining year on year. And we're as everybody knows, we're in a position of high inflation in this country. There's a cost of living crisis, so staff are asking for more money, which you can understand, and it's creating a big financial challenge for the sector.
In response, the Welsh Government said it's invested significantly in universities since reforming the student finance system and also during the COVID pandemic. People have had to be evacuated from their homes after a fire broke out at a house near Pontypridd this morning. 40 firefighters attended the scene in Graigwen. South Wales Fire and Rescue say the building was totally destroyed and that some residents will have to be rehoused. There are no reports of any injuries. Rugby and Wales head coach Warren Gatland says he's not too disappointed in their performance in yesterday's 34-10 defeat to Ireland and is considering which players might potentially face Scotland next weekend. Thomas Francis will have a scan on his calf tomorrow, with Alan Wynne-Jones already out of the trip to Murrayfield.
I'm not that disappointed with our performance. I just think there's a huge amount of upside in us, and in the past we've been able to work hard and fix things, and like I said, that's them at their best. We'll work on that and focus on that, and again, just some decision making things going forward.
Football, and Wrexham won 2-1 away at Altrincham in the National League last night. The result sees the Reds maintain the pressure on league leaders Notts County. A look at the weather now, and this evening it'll remain clear for much of the night, but as we move overnight there'll be a few spots of cloud in western and northern areas. A chilly night overall, with lows of around -3 Celsius for most. And we'll be back later tonight with your next update at around 25 to 11, I should say. Until then, take care. Goodbye.